I think usually the best way to start talking about microphones is the technical differences between the three types of microphones. The most popular in home studios is the condenser microphones, ranging from around $100 for an Audio-Technica 2020, which is a single-sided condenser microphone. So it just picks up on the front side, and this guy here, you speak into the side of it. It's a side address microphone. But one of the benefits of a condenser microphone is the capsule is very, very lightweight. There's no voice coil attached to it. So we have to run phantom power to activate the voice coil or the capsule, but it makes it very sensitive, great for detail, great for high frequencies. The articulation on voice cuts through very, very well. The downside of that is it is very sensitive, and it's much more affected by the listening environment or the recording environment, and any ambient noise that might be there, background noise, or reflections in terms of sound bouncing around the room. If there's a bit of echo in the room, a condenser microphone is going to pick that up more so. A good example of a dynamic microphone would be something like the classic Shure SM7, which is about $400. There are dynamic, kind of handheld vocal microphones that, like this would be your traditional design for used mostly in live application, but can be used in the studio. On a dynamic microphone, it's working almost on the exact opposite principle of a speaker. So there is a voice coil, there is a magnet. As your voice moves the diaphragm, it actually makes the voice coil pass through a magnetic field, generating a microscopic amount of electricity that you're amplifying. Because that voice coil is weighing down the diaphragm or the capsule, it tends to be less sensitive, not quite as crisp in the top end, but it gives you a lot more isolation from your the recording environment. It's not quite as sensitive. You can have a little bit more background noise without it picking up. If you're monitoring through speakers, you can have a lot more volume without getting feedback. So in a home studio environment, that might be one of the preferred microphones if you don't have the ability to do sound treatment in your room, or if you don't have like a small booth that you can work with. The third type is probably not going to be used a lot for voiceover. That would be a ribbon microphone. Ribbon microphone has a small strip of, basically a small foil ribbon suspended between two magnets. And as it vibrates back and forth, it, like a dynamic microphone, creates a small amount of electricity. The output on a ribbon microphone is substantially lower, and this would be a good example. This is called an AEA R84, and it's about $1,000. They're US built, and looks very similar to the classic RCA microphone. Has a real nice smooth tone to it. You do have to have a great preamp because the output is quite low, but depending on your voice, you might really like it. Usually has a really emphasized bottom end, which gives you a nice big powerful vocal sound, and the top end is rolled off. So if you have a overly crisp sounding voice, you might like the warming effect that has on the top end to kind of roll it off and smooth out the top end. Ribbon microphones range from around $150 for the Apex 210, and then there's some other budget ones in the $150 to $200 price range. But a lot of the US made or British made, you're looking in around the $1,000 to $1,500 price range.